Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Army of Snarkness. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I have been joined by my co-hosts. Well, let me introduce them to you. Sitting across from me at the keyboard, you know him as the man, the myth, the monster, the one that haunts your dreams. The trio, Zach, Drake, and Shade. How are you?
We're okay today.
Oh, just okay. Were you able to find a crypt since last week?
We found a decent place. It's not as crypty as some of us would have liked, but it'll suffice for now.
Well, I will send your payments there.
Oh, so you're actually going to send payment this time around?
I sent it last time.
Yeah, you always say that, but you don't ever say anything.
I had them in a fridge for you.
Again, you say that, and then nothing ever happens.
All right, and sitting on my left, if you thought the last rider of the apocalypse rode a white horse, you'd be wrong. She actually drives a Shelby, and on top of that, she plays one hell of a mean guitar. The final rider of the apocalypse, Death. How's it going, Sarah?
You did actually pay him. I know this for a fact because I had to collect the souls when he was done eating. However, I suspect he was asleep.
Probably.
Do you know you sleep feed?
When the body needs, the body needs.
I mean, I don't have a problem with him sleep feeding. It's just he kind of leaves it everywhere.
It is not my job to clean up after him. I just collect the souls and move on.
That's why we have Raz. Raz cleans up.
For a drug dealer, he's an excellent butler. We really should consider paying him.
Did you see what he did to the hideout? It looks like a nightclub.
I love it.
I was happy about it.
And yet it's not filled with annoying people.
Well, I mean...
That's probably because of the sleep feeding.
That's true. It does get people to run away.
True. Thank you for that, Drake.
So,
you're welcome.
So we know that the trio has found a crypt that they're going to be staying at, which is good.
Does it have a good view?
Well, it's underground.
Oh.
So no. I mean, I could put a window in, but I'd be just looking at,
Dirt.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know. You never really did describe to us what your ideal crypt would look like.
Well, easily defended and not made of flammable material is pretty close.
That's a good start, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have an open concept? I mean, is this kind of like something where we can go in and have like a flipped this crypt type thing?
He has been watching these strange HGTV shows about houses.
If you attempt to flip my crypt or any other ridiculous rhyming words that maybe want to punch you in the face, I'm just going to have to punch you in the face.
I mean, I'll pay for it.
No. This is not going to happen.
Well, Trashfire says hobbit holes make good crypts. You just have to eat the hobbits.
This is also true.
I mean, they have views, and most of the time they have a nice hearth that you can put a warm fire in, and
it's that.
The fire thing is a bad thing. Remember,
the view goes away once you've boarded up the windows, and the fireplace makes an excellent escape route once you've removed anything fiery from it.
Well, so you really don't go for the views.
Well, he does tend to sleep when he's in the crypt.
That's true.
Aye.
Draco
now says he saw one that was close to a homeless shelter.
Yeah, that was probably a decent place. I'm not going to reveal where I'm at. I know you're trying to get me to talk more about it, but that's just just a poor choice, really.
We just want to talk about the crypt itself, not where it is. We know better.
Do you have it painted a certain color, or are you just going to paint it blood red?
What color is concrete usually?
Gray.
That's about what it's going to stay.
We could redo it in a nice white or an off-white marble.
I'm going to have to say no to that.
I want to bring cheer to your home.
I go to my home for sleeping.
Aren't you going to
That's about
entertain,
it.
bring back, women or something and entertain them while you seduce them into giving up their payload?
I don't know what kind of women you're with, but none of the ones I do anything with at all come equipped with payloads.
It was a nice way of putting blood. They're giving you the blood.
I'm pretty sure that both me, Sarah, and the chat had an entirely different connotation to that statement.
I really don't know how to take that.
Well, I mean, Antoine does. Clearly.
Mm.
Apparently, he's taken a few payloads.
Is that the truth, Antoine? I mean, there's no shame in it.
I was trying to be nice in saying, not going directly into what he uses women for.
Not just women, but the men too.
Oh, I didn't know you liked men too.
Look, when you're hungry, you'll eat anything.
That's true.
I don't like the way certain things taste when I'm hungry, so I don't eat anything. I usually choose food.
That was an awful joke.
Cereal.
Be ashamed of it.
Cereal is delicious.
That's all you eat.
It's delicious.
I spent a whole month eating nothing but Asian food for a while.
Were they actual Asians?
Were you hungry 30 minutes later?
No. I just ended up with a really bad stomach ache.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's all the MSG in their blood. Well,
So,
can I bring you like a wreath or something to liven things up? Or take it directly from a funeral procession.
Did you just say what I think you just said?
Take a wreath?
No, livening things.
To do what? What's that supposed to mean, huh? Liven things up?
Nicely done.
Liven them up? Like no, seriously, that's a legitimate question here. What exactly are you implying about my domicile?
That it needs to be brighter than just
You
some.
said liven up. What the fuck kind of human anarchist bullshit is that? Liven up? What? What do you think I'm dead? What am I, a corpse to you? Am I just some thing you should put back in a pine box somewhere? Is that it?
I'm going to put Antoine in a pine box if he doesn't stop setting you off like this.
Liven things up.
Liven doesn't mean living.
This is why we need to vote blue.
Vote blue?
Hashtag vote blue. To put the Democrats back in power.
And the Democrats are not human anarchists.
Nope. They're very firmly on the side of liberty for all peoples, regardless of your class. Although it's very important to remember what class you're a part of.
And what class are you part of?
The one that's not human anarchist, clearly.
Oh, okay.
Unlike Antoine, who just used a racial slur.
How did I use a racial slur?
Liven things up?
Yes, it is an adjective.
I'm differently alive, you ass.
It's an action. It's
No. Look, you can mansplain this away all you want, but it's not going to change things.
How am I mansplaining?
You bigoted prick.
How?
Are you a man?
Yes.
Are you explaining it? Are you explaining something to me? Are you attempting, not only that, but you're attempting to explain terms of oppression to an oppressed group? You bigoted piece of misogynistic supremacist shit!
Do you identify as a female?
No.
So I wasn't mansplaining to you.
Are you a man?
Yes.
Were you explaining something?
Shadow, he was.
You are a man too. You can only mansplain if you are.
No, don't talk over me, bitch. Are you a man? Answer that question.
Yes.
Were you explaining something?
No.
Yes, you were, though. We all heard you do it. Therefore, you were mansplaining.
I was not explaining anything to you.
You were mansplaining everything. I am even more oppressed than I was previously, which is pretty goddamn oppressed.
Zach,
Mansplaining only takes into consideration if you
Antoine, shut up!
Ah!
Zach, he was not mansplaining. He was kitty-splaining. There's a
Oh,
difference.
that's true. I forgot. My apologies for being speciesist.
I'm not a cat!
I would like to point out the vampire population holds no ill will toward the cat population.
So if I'm a cat, how am I a human anarchist?
Clearly, cats use humans to get what they want. I mean, you're clearly a human anarchist ally, as I've said 1,000 times before.
I use them to get what I want. That means I'm using them as objects.
Which means oppression.
But I'm in the minority.
Nope, you're still an oppressor.
Oh my god.
Therefore, you have the power. Therefore, you're the majority. This is how this works.
I'm not human. I cannot be a human anarchist.
You can be a human anarchist ally, though. We've discussed this in detail on this very stream.
Repeat.
People are aware of how this works.
I'm not a human anarchist ally.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, you totally are.
How dare you?
How dare I what?
Tom Leach.
Oh.
This country was built by humans for humans. Humans first!
See, this is the kind of absolute bullshit that I have to put up with on a daily basis. Like this is exactly how it functions every day. I walk down streets and this is all I hear is you're not human. It's not human. Oh my god, a vampire. Somebody stake that walking corpse that just walked off with my dog. You know, this is the kind of shit I have to listen to all the goddamn time.
Why are you stealing dogs?
I was hungry.
So you stole someone's property.
No, it was wandering around. Look, they didn't have it on a leash. That's not what it means.
Did they have a collar?
No. I mean, not after I took it off.
Oh god. That means it had a collar. That means you stole someone's property.
The collar looked like it was incredibly uncomfortable.
So you liberated it and then killed it?
No, I liberated it and then ate it.
It's dead, right?
When I was done.
So you killed it?
No, I ate it. Killing implies I did nothing with its corpse.
That is.
What did you do with its corpse?
Drained it.
You framed it?
Drained it.
It's still a corpse.
Exsanguinated.
What did you do after it was exsanguinated?
You can't even pronounce that word, can you?
No, I can't. What did you do after
Try again. I'll wait.
What did you do after it was
exsanguinated?
Yes, what did you do after that?
Could you tell me what that word means?
Drain of all of its blood.
What's the root word?
I don't fucking know.
Wow, so much for being the dark web demon.
Oh, go do a search, Antoine. He's calling you out.
What did you do to the body afterwards?
Burned it.
You burned it?
Yes.
So
but not with fire.
Not with fire? How did you burn it not with fire?
Well, you see, if you make something so incredibly cold, eventually it does burning, but it's cold burning. It's science.
Are you talking about cold fusion?
No, I'm talking about things that become so cold they literally boil and burn. It's science. Look it up.
So you killed a dog and then burned the corpse?
I didn't kill the dog.
Yes, you did.
No, I ate the dog.
You...
Killing implies that you do nothing with it. You just kill it and leave it dead. I consumed it for sustenance.
It still died.
There's a big difference between dying and killing, though.
Yes, but you forcefully forced it to die.
Forcefully forced? Thank you, Mr. Redundant. Are we getting anywhere here?
Department.
Exactly. Are we getting anywhere here, or are you just going to keep trying to assume my gender?
What?
You heard me.
Is your gender a dog?
No, my gender is not kill gender, though. You keep assuming I'm kill gendered. This is awful.
I never said that.
You did repeatedly. You killed it. You killed it. You killed it. This is an assumption of my gender. I am not kill gendered.
Sarah,
Yes.
I actually have a headache. Can you make him go away?
I could, but it would require a lot of blood and nothing else would happen for the rest of the show.
I don't care if
Your
it's that
face
kind of
is
blood.
turning red. I didn't know that you could actually turn colors. Just put your head down on the desk for a little while. You'll feel better.
Is he having an aneurysm?
No, he has a headache.
Out of sheer stupidity?
I think out of frustration.
Sure, we'll call it that.
Tom Leach says, "See, this is why you can't live in the human state. You aren't symbiotic. But I support you right to form the Death Note state."
I'm not Venom, so I can't live with humans?
I hurt.
I don't think Tom Leach quite clearly understands what a humano state should be. It should not involve alien parasites known as the Clintar.
Can you make him stop, please?
I mean, that seems like but on the other hand, though, a Death Note state would never work. Because we have to feed.
Yes. Yes. Make him stop. I agree
So,
with you. Make him stop.
We'd have to agree. We'd have to live in the humano state. It's the only way it can work. But don't worry, we are a very small number compared to you. Remember, we're an oppressed minority.
Who do you want to talk to more, Antoine? Do you want to talk to Shade or do you want to talk to Zach?
I want to talk to Drake.
Oh, he's not home right now.
I
No,
can't
that's
help
me
you with
then.
either one of those.
He's on an astral journey looking for direction.
Then call his ass back!
No, he left his cell phone behind. I mean, clearly I've got it right here. How's he going to have it?
Antoine, why don't you go and get someone out of the fridge and maybe if you're lucky, Shade will come out and talk to
Or
you.
maybe you could have an actual topic instead of letting me ramble on. God damn it.
I'm trying not to make you ramble on. What?
Sorry.
You
Sorry.
Tell you,
You're assuming my gender again.
I could tell you all about the most interesting death I've had recently.
Please tell us about the most interesting death. Anything but this.
So in Australia, there was this teenage rugby player, and he decided to be stupid. He was a teenager at the time. And somebody dared him to swallow a live garden slug. I found the Life Science article that you're showing now just to prove that I'm not making this up. But it turns out that after swallowing the slug, he started having symptoms: dizziness, vomiting, so on and so forth. They diagnosed him with some disgusting sounding infection. And he just died after being in a coma for over a year. Do you know how interesting that was for me? To have to go and collect somebody who died because he swallowed a goddamn slug. I have never done that before.
Talk about a slow death.
So it says the rat lungworm infection can lead to bacterial meningitis, which may include symptoms such as headaches, nausea, vomiting, and abnormal sensations in the arms and legs.
So would you say that his soul left his body more sluggishly than normal?
Ah,
Man, I bet those 8 years he was a pretty slimy dude.
the CDC very helpfully says at the end of the article that people can avoid exposure to rat lungworm parasite by avoiding eating raw or undercooked slugs, snails, frogs, land crabs, and freshwater shrimp. And vegetables that came in contact with them should be washed before eaten raw, and people preparing raw slugs or snails should thoroughly clean their hands and utensils afterwards. How are the French still alive?
Only because the devil has made sure they've existed.
I've actually spoken with him, and he despises the French.
Then why does he keep them alive? It's the only reason they could possibly exist.
It's because he doesn't want them down there.
Unless they're God's joke.
Oh,
That is a possibility.
My God. We have to go kill God now.
You go right ahead.
Which one?
All of them, if they're keeping them alive, was a joke. Don't you know how horrible French people are?
I'm sure you can tell us.
They're pretty goddamn bad.
Didn't you try to buy a gun from them once?
They're as bad as Florida Man.
No.
That's
Yep.
impossible.
That's impossible. No,
Trust me.
Florida man.
Trust me.
No, see, Florida Man is at least humorous, and every time I have to go pick someone up who's died from them after doing something stupid, I laugh my rear end off. It's why it's so nice and firm.
This got a little weird.
You're welcome. But it distracted Antoine.
What?
I suppose.
See?
I'm
I mean-
sorry. She started shaking her ass at me. I couldn't help but notice.
I did not shake my ass at you.
You stood up and you shaked your ass.
Shake your groove thing, shake your groove thing, come on.
Your headache is gone, though.
For now, yes.
Enjoy it while you can. You're
trying
welcome.
to. Trying to. All right.
Too bad for you I've sat back down, isn't it?
I mean, you can always take your shirt off.
No, I'm not taking my shirt off.
I tried.
Poorly.
All right, fine. Anyone in the chat, if you want to put up some box, we'll get Sarah to take her shirt off.
I am not a whore.
No, you're not, because you're not getting paid to have sex.
Let's be honest, every single person in life is a whore. The real question is what the price is.
See? Everyone has a price. See, Ali wants you to strip.
Ali wants everybody to strip.
That's very true.
See, Kadanta's right. I'm not you, Hawthorne.
Hashtag Hawthorne.
Whatever.
So, well, the headache is gone, so that's good. So, is there anything else that's interesting happened to you this week, Sarah?
I was actually bored for a little while, so I turned on the TV. I normally don't turn on the TV. I'm just sort of flipping through channels. I found the most interesting competition.
You snark at me all the time. I watch my house flipping shows, and you turned on the TV and watched the competition.
I was that bored. Okay? And I found this show called The Great British Bake Off. Have you ever heard of it?
The what?
The Great British Bake Off.
Um,
It's set on an estate in England, and you start out with 12 bakers. The one season they did 13. And shut up, I didn't binge. And they bake in a tent.
How long did you watch TV?
I lost track. But it is the nicest.
It was a baker's dozen.
Ha! It
13
was.
of them. It's a
That was
baker's
pretty
dozen.
funny.
That's gay.
It was
It's
the
funny.
No, it was.
It's clearly European,
Are you done?
which is a lot like gay, but apparently European. Oh, I got a question.
What?
If you're American in the kitchen and Canadian in the bedroom, what are you in the bathroom?
European.
Yeah! That's fucking hilarious.
Oh my god. Anyway, the show, these people are really impressive because they're baking in a tent. And there's different challenges. Each week is different.
Do they have to do they have to learn how to light fire, make a fire to bake, or?
No, they have ovens and things. They even have something called a proving drawer that apparently you put bread dough in and it makes the bread dough bigger. But it was the nicest competition I have ever seen. I kid you not. You are competing to be the best baker on the show. And yet in the middle of it, if you have, like, say your cookie tower is toppling over and you need an extra hand, you can say, hey, can you help me? And then immediately drop what they're doing. Even if they're not done prepping theirs for the presentation to the judges, they'll drop what they're doing to help you get yours back on hand. These people are so freaking nice. It's not like American competitions. There's no backstabbing. There's no snarking. Well, there's a little bit of snarking, but it's all playful. They sometimes give advice to each other. That sort of thing. I rather liked it. It was very relaxing.
Sarah?
And I want to try some of the recipes. I don't even bake. I don't even cook.
Sarah!
What?
How long were you watching TV?
4 seasons?
Roughly 3 days.
How many episodes per season?
12?
Roughly 3 days.
At about an hour apiece.
She did take some breaks every once in a while.
I did. I had to go work.
Mostly to try and make the kitchen do things she'd seen the television show do.
No, I have not tried anything yet because
I know you didn't try anything yet. I watched you fail miserably to find out where we kept the pots and pans. If you had asked me, I would have told you we don't have any pots and pans. Because nobody here eats conventional food.
Yes, there's only ever cereal.
Yeah, well, that's not my fault.
No, that's Antoine's fault.
Use some of your hard-earned precious metals and go buy some food.
Oh, he pays you?
He does pay
I
me.
pay you too.
I get a weekly payment. He delivers yours to the fridge.
I haven't seen them.
That's because you eat them when you're sleeping.
What?
Yes.
That-
I've seen
I
you
don't do that.
I've seen American Horror Story, Kadant, and it's... Honestly, after some of the things that I've seen, it's just a comedy. But it was a very relaxing show. And I was really craving macarons when I was done watching.
Oh, those you cannot pick up at a gas station. I know that's your favorite store.
When you're going from place to place, you get food where you can get it. I haven't eaten from a gas station since I became death.
I was going to say, I don't understand how you kept your figure while you were eating from gas stations.
Well, if you ever came down to the gym, instead of sitting on your Play-Doh butt, you would see the workout I go through on a regular basis.
You know, I don't need to work out. I look this slim, trim, and gorgeous no matter what.
Unless somebody squeezes you.
That's because you're Play-Doh, and Play-Doh can be sculpted.
I'm not Play-Doh.
You haven't, contradicted her the first 3 times she called you Play-Doh. You just went with it. This leads me to believe that you are, in fact, made of Play-Doh.
I'm not made of Play-Doh.
Does your face still squish?
No.
Yes. Nope. Yeah, it squishes.
Oh.
What was that for?
I wanted to see if it squished. I didn't stop him from talking, though.
No, it doesn't stop from talking. I have to put it back together.
Does anything stop you from talking?
Yes, but usually you won't let me do it to you.
I bet he still talks through that, too.
Well, he didn't when we broke the bed.
Yeah, but the bed broke in foreplay, not during actual coitus.
That was when he stopped talking.
Coitus? Or the bed breaking?
The beginning.
Oh, the bed breaking.
Prior to that.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
That's fine. You don't need to, Zach.
Oh, God.
So, Zach, do you have anything interesting you want to talk about?
I do!
What would you like to speak about?
Well, I was going to read some articles here.
Read
But I noticed some interesting things after this Halloween, or during this particular Halloween, is that people, for some reason, want to try and put, fake claws and fake eyes and fake fangs running around.
Yes, that's because they're children who dress up for Halloween.
Mm-hmm. But, somebody
Hydrate.
got stuck Now, we're all well aware of the whole Florida man concept, I know. But apparently, Alabama has given Florida a run for its money. With this particular article titled, Alabama Woman is Frightened After Zombie Teeth Get Stuck in Her Mouth.
Okay.
What?
Yep, I'll reread the title for you just so it sinks in properly. Alabama woman is frightened after zombie teeth get stuck in her mouth. They wouldn't budge, she lamented. I even took me a pair of wire clippers and cut the tips off of those. It's not Halloween yet, but one Alabama woman has already had the fright of her life. Anna, too, was planning to be a zombie for the haunting holiday and spent $3 on a pair of fake teeth for the costume. The zombie teeth attached to her regular chompers with adhesive, but she became unglued when she realized the fake teeth were stuck. I'd like to commend Huffington.
What kind of adhesive did she use?
Super glue?
I'd like to commend Huffington Post on their use of puns to make this already appalling story all the worse. She became unglued when she realized the fake teeth were stuck. Thank you, Huffington Post. You are always right there at the center of the issues with the hard-hitting news. I was trying to remove them because they were just tight, Two told WKRG-TV. They wouldn't budge. They even took me a pair of wire clippers to cut the tips off those. Two couldn't eat or drink because of the fake teeth, but tried drinking hot coffee hoping the heat would loosen the glue. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. I drooled hot coffee, I guess you could say, she told McClatchy News. They wouldn't budge. I'm panicking. Of course, had a few panic attacks by this point. Tried to sleep, wasn't no sleeping. In the morning, she attempted to get out of the sticky situation by making an emergency dental appointment, but the solution wasn't quickly found. They looked and they pulled a little bit and they were like, well, we're going to have to use a saw or cut off in sections and drill it off. They really didn't know what to do, Two told McCarthy. Two couldn't be done during the appointment because the dentist feared her teeth might get pulled out by mistake. So he went in and picked and pulled and I squealed like a baby and they got them out, she told WKRG-TV. I didn't use the accent because, frankly, it was annoying. The dentist, Dr. John Murphy, told the station that gums can sometimes cause something to adhere to the teeth and get stuck. Two's teeth are back to their pre-zombie state, and she learned a valuable, scary life lesson from the ordeal. I'll never do it again, she told the station. I'll never put anything like that again in my mouth.
That's apparently what she looked like.
That's horrifying.
Look, even without those fake teeth, nobody in their right mind should be putting anything in that mouth. I'll say it.
About the teeth?
I'll say it. But, so most adhesives come off if you apply certain chemicals to them, like acetone. I'm not sure why the dentist didn't just throw that on there.
Probably because it's slightly toxic.
Well, here's the thing. Do you want to lose all your teeth through extensive drilling, or do you just want to get a little sick?
Point.
Plus, it melts the teeth out of your skull, which would actually be kind of cool, frankly.
I have no idea what's going on in the chat. I was listening to Drake. Kadan says, I have some squish, mostly on my chest. And
She's talking about her tits, her
I
thighs, and her ass.
I got that. And then Ali says, I have some squish on my chest too. Kadan says, yay, squishy chest. Then Ali says, my stomach and my thighs. Draconath jumps in with, I have a belly drum. What
on earth is going on in your chat?
I don't know. And then Kadan says, my thighs and my butt I have firm beneath my belly squish. And then Ali says, I love big thighs. Kadan says, yay, more puns. Ali says, fuck thigh gaps. Draconath said that woman was very special. And then Kadan says, I like to shake them and make them slap together and then call it my thunderclap because thunder thighs.
Kadant needs more rum.
Yeah.
Someone find Razriel and get her some more rum so she starts to make sense.
I've got more of these whenever we're ready.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
on,
Go ahead.
keep going.
So after Alabama woman gets her zombie teeth stuck in her face, we're gonna go ahead and talk about Jimmy Lee Scott's daughters.
Jimmy Scott's daughters.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy Lee Scott's daughters are suing an Alabama funeral home for losing their mother's body at a cemetery.
Who's Jimmy Lee Scott?
Hell if I know.
Okay.
3 sisters buried their mother in 2010, but they say she's not resting in peace after an Alabama funeral home allegedly lost her body. Jimmy Lee Scott's daughters said the last time they saw their mother, who died at 77, her casket was positioned over an open grave in Montgomery's Oakwood Cemetery Annex on April 10, 2010, according to a lawsuit filed on Tuesday. When one of the daughters, Dakota Scott, visited again to place flowers on the plot, she claims her mother's tombstone was far from the spot where she remembered the burial taking place. The lawsuit claims that Joe Kendrick, an official from Ross Clayton Funeral Home, which had been hired to handle all funeral arrangements, tried to convince Scott the tombstone was in the right place.
So she thinks it took place somewhere else, and the guy who runs the place went, "No, that's where she is."
Wait.
They decided to sue him.
Yet Kendrick later told Scott that they would have to unearth her mother's casket, because another family was the rightful owner of the plot where her mother's headstone stood.
What the fuck?
How did you make that mistake?
It gets better. Scott then watched workers dig up the grave, but according to the lawsuit, their shoveling revealed there wasn't any casket or body underground.
Oh no!
Several other graves were dug up, but her mother's casket and body still haven't been found.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Attorney Chip Nix told the Huffington Post, they undertook the sacred duty of handling Jimmy Lee Scott for the purpose of a proper burial in a place where the family could have peace knowing where she was. When a loved one, especially a mother, dies, we want the best for that person. To think that a burial could occur, and after which no one knows where the gravesite is horrific.
You think?
The lawsuit claims the sisters suffered great mental pain and anguish and emotional distress because of the funeral home's alleged bungling of their mother's burial. Now, I do take a slight issue with this particular paragraph, specifically the part where it says, because of the funeral home's alleged bungling.
It's not alleged.
Yeah, there's nothing really alleged about this anymore. You cannot find the body.
Yeah.
I think we've gone far past alleged at this point. But, so I can't talk with the daughters without them crying, Nix told HuffPost. They're devastated.
No shit.
Now, here's where it gets even funnier. The family is suing for $3 million in total damages from Ross Clayton and Forest Hills Memorial Services.
God.
A company that Nix said was subcontracted by the funeral home to dig the grave. According to Nix, the daughters paid an undisclosed lump sum to Ross Clayton to handle all funeral arrangements, including the purchase of a cemetery plot for their mother. Neither company returned calls from the Huffington Post.
So I'm assuming that the lump sum that they paid was not $3 million.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna suck to have your mom's body just disappear.
Not
But
$3
I don't know if it's $3 million would suck. Like, I don't even know if there's a porn star out there who I'd pay $3 million worth to suck.
I mean, you might catch something.
All right. So there's another story. In case somebody still thinks that Alabama people just haven't got what it takes to get up there with Florida, we're going to talk about a man named Eric McFadden. And now he allegedly attacked a man with a machete over a love triangle dispute.
What you're doing here is you're trying to prove that Florida man isn't shit.
I'm trying to prove that Florida man is not an isolated incident and that you humans are fucked.
I am not human.
Neither am I.
Yeah. So said the sympathizer.
Well, you are a supervisor. Sympathizer.
You want to try that again? You want to try that insult again there, Sarah?
Did you just say you're gay?
No.
I could have sworn you said that. I think everybody in the chat probably heard that too.
No.
I think you might be hearing things.
Probably. On with the story. So, love hurts. What an opener. Police in Mobile, Alabama say a love triangle turned violent and with a machete attack on Monday. Eric McFadden, 51, allegedly assaulted a man who accused McFadden of dating his wife while he was in prison, the Associated Press reported. McFadden was allegedly angered by the confrontation and went into his house to get a machete, which he allegedly used to cut the accuser on the wrist.
Oh no, not the wrist.
The victim was allegedly angered by the confrontation. The victim was treated at the scene for minor injuries, WPMI reported. Now's where it gets fun, ladies and gentlemen. McFadden has been charged with second-degree assault and has been jailed 27 times on 71 charges.
Oh my good lord.
Since 1983. But here in Alabama, he's not the first to give love a bad name. In March, a pregnant woman was accused of ramming her car into another woman who was also pregnant with her boyfriend's child. When asked about the incident, the boyfriend in question told KTRK, "I don't know if it's because of me or what. I mean, I am handsome."
Wow. Wow. Just wow.
All right.
Are fucked.
Shame.
And the last story.
Wow.
Just to really drive it home that Florida man is not an isolated incident. Alabama man molests wife's Shih Tzu because she gave it more attention, police say.
No.
Wait.
No.
An Alabama man is facing animal cruelty charges after police said that he had sex with his wife's Shih Tzu.
Wait.
He had sex with his wife's Shih Tzu.
How small? These are like palm size. They're tiny dogs. How
No, they're not.
man's
No. No, Shih Tzus are medium sized.
I can pop one.
Of course, this one is not. Jonathan Edward Medley, 39, of Geneva, was arrested Friday night, one day after his wife reported the alleged assault to authorities, according to WTVY.com. Medley's wife originally suspected her husband was cheating on her with another woman, so she hid a recording device in the house, hoping to get proof of his infidelities, the Dothan Eagle reports. Instead, she allegedly discovered Medley was molesting Buster, a 2-year-old Shih Tzu who weighed less than 10 pounds.
Oh my god!
He was using the dog as a fleshlight.
Even more sickening than the assault was the explanation police said Medley gave for his behavior. He was mad at his wife because she paid more attention to the dog than him, so he had sex with the dog. Geneva Police Captain Ricky Morgan said, according to AIL.com, Medley was charged with a misdemeanor count of animal cruelty, and his bond was set at $535.
Oh no, not 500.
Oh no. This last line is crucial. Medley was only charged with a misdemeanor because there is no longer bestiality law in Alabama.
I'm getting the
WTVY reports that
apocalypse in Alabama.
WTVY reports that Buster was examined by a vet and is doing well.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, you humans are fucked.
And you want to protect them from other humans. I say just let them kill themselves.
What's even better is they took away the bestiality laws.
Why would you do that? In
Well,
Alabama,
because-
of all places.
Because sometimes the cow is just better off than your cousin.
Sarah,
I think
Sarah,
for me, it was that last line that really just ties it all together. It's just, there's no longer bestiality law in Alabama. And WTVY reports that Buster was examined by a vet and is doing well.
Hey, Sarah, why does the farmer fuck the sheep on the edge of a cliff?
So they can't get away. They back up into it.
So they push back.
Well, why do farmers never use Velcro on their pants? Or why do farmers only ever use buttons on their pants?
Why?
Because sheep can out of a zipper a mile away. Velcro from 2 miles.
The look on Sarah's face is priceless. I wish you all could see it. It's absolutely priceless. She's looking at us like she wants to go kill a bunch of people.
I am gonna go kill a bunch of people.
I mean, why does a Frenchman carry a sheep under his arm?
It's better than his wife.
In case he feels like masturbating.
Tom Leach says, I thought it was because sheep don't know how to make a U-turn. Oh, God.
Alternatively,
Everyone
why does Frenchman carry a sheep under his arm?
Why?
Well, the alternative thing is that Antoine goes because it's better than his wife, right?
Yeah?
Go ahead, say so.
Because it's better than his wife.
No, because it is his wife.
Oh!
But I just wanted everyone to realize that Florida is not an isolated incident.
It's spreading.
It never was spreading. It's always been there.
It's just the stupidity has moved from Florida to Alabama.
Where's Pinoid from?
I have no idea.
Is he from Alabama?
I honestly don't know.
Because he fucks dogs.
Does he?
I mean, he said he would.
Just because? Or was that...
I mean, he would have to be paid like a couple $1,000s first, but
Only.
I don't think it really matters once you've said you'd fuck a dog. I mean, once you've declared that you are, in fact, a fucker of dogs, whether or not you're being paid to do so really no longer matters.
That's a very good point. Very good point. When did he say he would fuck a dog for a couple $1,000s?
A couple of streams now he's thrown it out there.
How desperate is he to get laid? Is it because the whole MGTOW thing, no woman will touch him with someone else's 10-foot pole?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have the answers for this.
The chatter in the chat is asking when Kero is moving to Alabama.
He wasn't already in Alabama?
Yeah.
Who's Kero?
Oh.
Oh, no.
Well, Kiro is a man, who makes our Alabama man here look like absolutely nothing.
He's a furry.
I have a very strong stomach, Sarah. I've seen a lot of really awful shit. I've seen things that make most people freak the fuck out and out of a heartbeat. I have lived through things most people probably wouldn't think can even happen, much less would destroy the minds of lesser men, and I'm not even bragging about that. But this guy, I basically had to turn off the video after about 5 minutes of Mr. Medicare just describing something.
It was bad. Yeah, let's do a quick rundown. Kiro is a furry. He was a popular YouTuber. He played video games, I think. And he fantasized about having sex with animals. Young animals.
Oh, here's where you're slightly misleading the crowd there, buddy. He didn't fantasize about it. He did it.
Well, I was getting to that.
This is a guy who literally raped puppies.
Yeah, made his dog sick.
Literally raped them.
I give up. Kadan, where's your rum?
I believe it's in the kitchen.
Excuse me.
I don't think I've ever seen that expression on Sarah's face before. I don't know what it means. I think lots of people are about to die. Could be wrong. But yeah, he for those of you who don't know, not only did he do that and fantasize about doing it with dead things, he talked to a bunch of people about it, and yeah. So I don't know if we could call him a pedophile, since it's yeah. I think I broke Sarah. I think the trio and I broke Sarah with Kiro.
I don't think it technically qualifies as being a pedo because pedo refers only to human.
Yeah.
What it does qualify as is fucked up.
Oh, very. Drake?
Yeah.
I think we broke the Rider of Death.
No, I think she's just going and taking care of certain people.
Do we need to give her an alibi?
Nope. She's got herself under control, I'm sure.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure it's only a small bloodbath after all.
It's
Not many people are going to die from that at all.
Yeah. It's one of those weird things too. Like obviously, it's just it's a fucked up thing.
There are people who defend him.
I am back.
I could.
Perhaps we should try and keep me calm.
I could see defending that one chick who lets her dog mount her.
No.
Because I'm like, if the dog's doing it on its own, I'm not certain you can call out abuse. You can call it fucked up and weird and fucked up, but I don't know if you can call it abuse. But when he's tying his animals down and literally raping them,
Stop.
I would call that exactly what it sounds like.
Stop.
Going back to the girl though, she also drinks the dog's pee.
Like I said, I don't think she's abusing the animal. I think she's just really fucking weird. Now, should she have a dog? No, she really should not have a dog. But I don't know if you could call it I mean, people are calling it animal cruelty, and I'm like, the animal does not appear to be living in any sort of cruel environment whatsoever. He looked like he was pretty pleased to be there last time I saw.
Let's change the subject.
You want to talk about something that will make you happy, Sarah?
Yes, please.
Talk about
what?
Zombies.
Yes, zombies. Zombies are much better than this particular animal.
Zombies are cheap ripoffs.
They are, but we're going to talk about them anyway.
Not even intelligent.
Focus.
Drake, would you prefer one of your would you prefer a ghoul, like the ones that you create from drinking your blood, or a zombie?
That's not a ghoul, it's a thrall.
Which one would you prefer?
Thralls, of course, they can think.
So
no, we're not going to talk about fucking zombies.
War found this article and passed it on to me, and I passed it on to you, so we're going to talk about it now.
Okay.
After a zombie apocalypse, here are 9 keys to rebuilding a civilization.
Why do we want to rebuild a zombie? Why do we want to rebuild civilization?
Because there are going to be survivors.
We just talked about.
Stop. So I discovered, my sisters and I, when we were experimenting with our new powers after we became the Riders, that it actually takes all 4 of us to make a zombie apocalypse. One of us just won't work. So when they say it's an apocalypse, it literally is an apocalypse. It's not just a random mutation. Because it takes all 4 of us to make this happen.
Are you bragging?
No, I'm telling you an interesting fact.
Oh, well, I'm listening.
Obviously, I'm required to kill them, and then plague does, infects them. But without war, they're not hungry. Well, they will not attack. Without famine, they're not hungry. So it takes all four of us to make this work. It is easy to take for granted the basic luxuries we've come to expect in modern society. But what if a zombie apocalypse or something similar quickly destroyed our comfortable way of life and we were forced to start over? In AMC's The Walking Dead, now in its 9th season, how is that show still around?
Jesus Christ.
Characters have survived years after the zombie apocalypse began and are now working to expand their simple communities into a stronger, more capable civilized society. I cannot even begin with this language. You're gonna be evidence that we're making a civilization, Rick Grimes, one of the show's main characters, told Negan, a villain Rick captured at the end of season 8. Something like what we had, something we're gonna get back.
Hold on 1 second.
Mm.
Cinder Shadow has a question for the trio.
Hmm.
So I'd like to know this too, just in case. So if a human that's infected with the T virus gets bit by a vampire before they turn undead, what do they become? That is a damn good question.
A fictional character.
Mm.
There's no such thing as the T virus.
You know what he's asking.
They turn into a vampire. The vampire pathogen, virus, curse, whatever you want to call it, has a unique tendency of being able to burn out most sicknesses. It's the one real known cure for cancer, AIDS, Alzheimer's, etc.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
A civilization is impossible without people. That much seems obvious. But the key is having enough people and the right mix of people. It is unlikely that a group of 10 people, for example, will be successful at colonizing, said Terry Hunt, an archaeologist and dean of the University of Arizona Honors College. Hunt is a leading expert on the human history of Easter Island and early civilizations in the Pacific Islands. Demography simulations suggest that groups of 20 or more have a better chance at long-term survival, Hunt said. That's because having more people minimizes the chance of a skewed sex ratio and prevents the first generation from being too closely related to one another. But besides wanting a diverse group to avoid inbreeding, the skills people bring to the table should also be diverse.
So we're not talking about starting the civilization in Alabama.
No, we are not. If I were in charge of one of these isolated communities surrounded by timber palisades and sheet metal, I would try to keep as many people with diverse knowledge around as possible, said Stephen Kuhn, an anthropologist at the University of Arizona who studies ancient civilizations in the Mediterranean. If I had 3 farmers, I would try to swap one for a potter or a weaver or a chemist, because people are commodities like that.
Well, after a zombie apocalypse, yes, they are.
True.
I agree with Tom. He says, there's going to be some inbreeding, but we just kill the flipper babies and move on.
Brutal, but efficient. Protection from the elements and zombies in the case of The Walking Dead is needed for basic human survival. Without shelter, there'd be no hope of building a civilization. But as communities expand, they need more than a roof and walls. They need barricades and protection. Part of survival will not be getting invaded by another group of people who just come and take everything and leave you for dead, Hunt said, which has been a consistent and major challenge throughout this Walking Dead. Fortifying the settlement not only prepares the community for conflict, but also may prevent conflict altogether by displaying the strength of the community. For example, the people of Easter Island used their enormous ancient statues to display their strength to other communities. They were a way of saying, see, our family is smart and capable and collaborative. The size of our statue is competed with the size of yours.
So the statues are just giant penises then?
That's what I was about to say. Besides shelter, a community needs a reliable food and water supply to survive, because you don't want to become a cannibal while you're in the midst of the zombie apocalypse. Might not be a good idea. These are absolutely fundamental, said Vance Holliday, an archaeologist in the School of Anthropology and Department of Geosciences at the University of Arizona. Even if it's just a few people, you still have to have access to food and water, and you have to have a distribution system of some kind. Not only do they need to learn how to produce and share the food and water, there has to be a way of managing fluctuations or risks. Say a neighboring community comes by and raids an entire field of corn. Does the community have enough food to get by until the corn can be replaced? You have to think about making it through the worst circumstances. Teamwork makes the dream work. Oh my god. The communities that own something together are going to do better than those who don't have a who don't have a sense of sharedness, says Carl Lipo, an archaeologist in the Department of Anthropology at Bingham University.
I think that's Lippo.
Lipo?
Lippo.
How do you know? Spelled lipo.
Because Lippo sounds better.
Does it?
Yeah, Lipo sounds like he's, doctor of liposuction or something.
If you say so. Lippo is also an expert in the human history of Easter Island, where early communities spent decades at a time building hundreds of massive stone statues. They were the key to survival because building them brought communities together, Lippo said. And once a community is driven towards a shared goal, the people will also be more inclined to help one another as individuals too.
No.
I'm sorry?
No.
No?
No.
You disagree?
I do.
Why?
Because humans are greedy sons of bitches, and unfortunately, when someone starts getting more power than the others, they're going to take notice. A bunch of statues aren't going to keep them away.
Which leads into the next aspect. One of the more challenging aspects of building and sustaining a civilization is deciding on punishment for intolerable actions. More specifically, what to do with the cheaters, because civilization can't sustain itself if it's based on a winner-takes-all structure. People are always going to try to get something for nothing, Lippo said. How do you make that work so that everyone sees that it costs too much to cheat without it being totalitarian? And who decides on the punishments? That's where a lot of conflict will come from. The character... Never mind, I don't want to read about that part. All of the experts Live Science spoke with mentioned the importance of inheriting information and sharing knowledge. One of the challenges with a post-apocalyptic world is how do you retain knowledge in your community so you can remember conditions that may not have taken place in recent memory? People who were born after the apocalypse, like Judith and Herschel in The Walking Dead, have no knowledge of what life was like prior to the apocalypse and no vision of what life could be like in the future. In the post-zombie apocalypse civilization, people would need to quickly develop a way to retain the knowledge they have and record it with limited technology. In today's world, there are retail stores for nearly everything you could ever want or need, but that wouldn't be the case in the zombie apocalypse or in an early civilization. Is anyone surprised by that fact?
Hey, you know what? I've heard Twinkies will last forever.
Along with the roaches.
Oh, yeah. Oh, then you have zombie roaches.
Ugh.
No one ever brings that up. Are there any animals in The Walking Dead that are zombies? I've never watched the show.
Kadan, do you watch the show? Are there any zombie animals? Damn Alien says the writers are just hoping someone will want an anthropologist when the world goes to hell.
Well, it's true. No one wants an anthropologist. Makes them important.
Yes. Someone has to make the clothing, tools, weapons, Holiday said. There needs to be some sort of manufacturing of just basic commodities. People somehow need to find the resources to produce those commodities, he said. Even if you're making stone tools, you've got to find the right kind of materials. Technology is important at any level, Hunt said. Even rudimentary tools like the stone axe changed the world when they were first invented.
See, Kadan says no, there are no zombie animals because it's a human gene.
Oh.
But Tom Leach says that Z Nation has zombie animals and that we're all missing out.
Oof. No, I don't think we are.
I will pass on any zombie-related subjects.
Wimp.
Well, I don't like zombies. What's wrong with that?
What was that?
I don't like zombies. What's wrong with that?
You're a cyber demon.
And? Doesn't mean I don't not like zombies.
Wimp.
What?
Having public health strategies for minimizing contact with infected others would be critical to the success of a civilization rising during the zombie apocalypse. Ideally, you would want a system of healthcare, Holiday said. You've got dead people all over the place, and that's a huge health concern. Because it's a modern day apocalypse, the characters in the Walking... I don't want to read about the characters in The Walking Dead. Stop that. The biggest problem in building civilizations is when the lack of sharing resources creates divisions and then forces communities to compete with one another, Lippo said. It's exactly the kind of stuff that will break us down because when we no longer share values as a community, sharing with other communities and depending on one another for help is a way of minimizing risk and avoiding competition, Hunt said. It is all part of community formation. If one community produces far more potatoes than the other community has more livestock, they could significantly benefit one another if they work out a mutually beneficial trade. Having contact with other people who are facing independent risks is a really good thing, Hunt said. It's a key to survival. So basically,
You just read an article that was an advertisement for The Walking Dead. Congratulations.
I feel so cheated.
You can feel cheap and used.
I do. I feel like you on a normal basis. Trio, what is your zombie plan?
My zombie plan?
Everyone says they've got a zombie plan. What's yours?
Wait.
I mean, he's got nothing he's got to wait for. I mean, all he has to do is stay in the dark. He's fine.
I mean, more important than that, they're zombies.
Yes, but can you take sustenance for zombies?
No. But a zombie is by definition a rotting corpse. It's just a matter of time.
This is true. But that leads to the question of what will you do for food?
Eat people.
Provided you could find them and they're not all dead from the zombie apocalypse?
Oh, none of them are that hard to find.
They do basically like to draw a lot of attention to themselves. Antoine, do you have a zombie apocalypse plan?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Wait. Make sure there's a generator keeping part of the internet going, and I'm good.
Makes sense.
All right.
Honestly, the first part of my zombie apocalypse plan is to dismantle the internet.
Well, that's why I connect to a satellite. Good.
Also satellites.
Yeah, you go for that.
All forms of telecommunication.
Why would you get rid of telecommunication?
To prevent the rise of Antoine again.
You should have seen that coming. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Don't you feel foolish?
Not as foolish as you do for reading that article.
I hate myself.
You should.
Reading it. I am ashamed.
You should be.
I dislike being ashamed. I think I'm going to go and kill some IDL after this. Just so I don't feel ashamed anymore.
Well, it was talking about sharing, so if we're talking about some of the last stories we were talking about, you could just pass the shih tzu back and forth and people should be happy.
Why did you have to bring that back up again?
10 pounds.
After it's passed through a couple of civilizations, it'll gain a few.
I'm pretty sure human civilization was passing through it at one point. Repeatedly.
In first, then out.
You can stop now.
Because his wife wouldn't pay attention to him.
I mean, then you could always contact the people who buried the mother, and then you could, lose the evidence.
Should have buried that Shih Tzu in the same place.
That's what I'm saying.
Never would have found it then.
But it's alive and healthy. Probably pregnant. But, you know.
Pray me, the little three-legged troglodyte.
Could deliver a litter of puppies. Sarah, the bottle is over there.
I am well aware of where the bottle is. I brought it back in with me. I think I'm going to use it to gut you.
Why?
After I empty it.
What did I do? I didn't do anything.
You brought it back up.
And?
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to gut the trio too.
Oh, that'll be like a Tuesday.
That doesn't change anything.
Like our average Tuesday.
Good. Then you won't fight too hard.
No, I'll just do what I always do.
And what's that?
Not believe you did it.
Dementation.
It's working.
Are we almost done? My temper for this nonsense is rising.
Well, I mean, if there's nothing else you guys have to talk about.
How come you don't do enough talking? Aren't you supposed to be the main host?
I was doing the laughing. You guys brought
Yes.
it in.
We have provided articles and things to discuss. How come you aren't?
Because I have something very special for next time.
And what is that?
I'm going to introduce you both to a dragonkin.
A what?
I don't want to spoil the surprise, so I'm not going to say much more. If you really need to, he knows what it is.
Say that one more time.
If you really need to know, talk to Draconath. He knows what it is.
Last time anyone talked to Draconath, the trio got a spaceship.
It's a good point. But I don't want to spoil the surprise for next time, so I'm going to make sure that I have everything I need working for the broadcast, so I can show you and the chat what's going on with what's going on with the Dragon King.
When are you going to make another video?
Soon.
That's vague.
I haven't really found anything that really strikes my fancy.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Nothing.
Why are you both staring at me?
Because we don't believe you.
Actually, I'm just zoning out because I'm exhausted.
Did you not feed enough?
It's been a very long day.
Oh.
It could be worse.
I found a new job.
Oh.
You did?
Yes, I tried to avoid the whole supernatural gig thing because it I don't know. It feels like you're just restricting yourself to the norm. But I got a job corralling and taming hellhounds, and it's rewarding because they're adorable. But there's a lot of work involved.
One would not think hellhounds are adorable.
Have you ever seen them?
No.
Oh, they got the big, heavy jowls and the wide, soulless eyes and the blood dripping all over the place. I mean, they're adorable.
They want to use you as a chew toy?
What good big puppy doesn't?
Antoine, Czar is saying, what about the videos he's been sending you about Sony's censorship? Are you ignoring Czar?
No, I'm not ignoring Czar. I will do a video soon, I promise.
Uh-huh.
My fingers are not crossed.
Uh-huh.
At all.
Uh-huh.
They're not.
Do you believe him?
Why wouldn't you believe me?
So how did you get the job babysitting hellhounds?
I applied.
Where do you even find a job like that?
Indeed. It's like Indeed, but supernatural Indeed. It's a online thing.
Oh, I honestly didn't know something like that existed.
It's real dark webby.
Zero Gold has a very interesting idea for the zombie apocalypse.
Okay.
Is he gonna hand out free blowjobs to every infected?
No, he says I would create super soldiers to fight the zombies, get tech experts to restore telecommunications, and transform me into a hot female tech virus and fight zombies dressed as Roberto Gulliman. Gulliman?
Gulliman.
Whatever. Why do I have to be female? Why does everyone want to turn me into a girl?
You're obviously not manly enough. Just a suggestion.
Thank you for that.
What? I'm just offering a possible solution.
Zar says they're in the video suggestions in Discord. I will take a look at them, Zar, I promise. No, there's no Antoine Chan. Oh, God.
I thought you were Antoinette.
I'm not Antoinette. All right, let's get this over with. No Necrotron either.
Oh,
Anyway,
what? Cute cat.
I'm not a cat.
Uh-huh. You sound all poofy. In fact, you look poofy. It's so much fun to watch you bang your head against your desk.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Army of Snarkness. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great. I've been joined by the beautiful trio and the homely Rider of Death. Do you have anything you guys want to say to the chat?
The homely Rider of Death?
The beautiful.
Just strike that and reverse it.
I think you're full of shit.
Well, you do have better legs than I do.
Point.
Good night, everyone.
Have a good night, everyone. We will see you next time.
Kadant, I'm borrowing more of your rum.